Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily. Wake up to walk, or not quite. It's Des here, looking to attack the weekend a little bit more than the day. If I'm completely honest, for the first time in 2.5 years, 30 months, didn't actually get up and go for a walk this morning. And of course, I love to start my weekend in that fashion, but today just didn't quite happen. Overslept, which is somewhat bizarre for as tough as I find it to get to sleep sometimes. I always get up and do what I need to do, especially on a Friday. But this morning, just find it really tough to get out of bed. And whilst I wanted to get back to that knots clock walk 60, continue my challenge, get back to my routines. Of course, I've been talking all week about starting to sort of feel everything again and get back into my habits with my sort of upturning activity. Like I say, just didn't quite happen. But one sort of saving grace was this evening. I've been out by the Trent and really enjoyed a good tough session. What I missed yesterday in my coaching session before the live episode, rearranged for this evening. Planned to do the walk and the run, was open to double up, but the way this morning panned out, it'd be easy to kind of regret it and get fed up about it, and sometimes I would, but I'm feeling in such a good frame of mind right now. Just gave me an opportunity to get out this evening down by the Trent. I'm here now. I was here earlier, still getting in a walk on a Friday, still gonna process everything, try and make sense of it, look forward to the weekend and everything that's got in store, and just be really positive. And it's been a week of really getting back to that point. For whatever has happened in the last couple of weeks, I've said it a lot, right from the off on Monday where I felt amazing after the weekend. Everything's just built bit by bit. Without the exhilaration of what happened at the weekend, of course I went away, went to the cricket, spent a lot of time enjoying myself. It's been a case of really sort of settling back in to my routines, and when they're working, everything's kind of working. It just proves that I've come through another little blip. And I say another kind of said it in a negative way then, didn't I? But it's not a negative thing. It's just something we have to experience as and when they come along. But this week, I've just got a smile back on my face. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. That session I've already spoke about, really tough this evening. It's purposely tough. That's what it's all about. It's a running type boot camp. Something I do here in Nottingham, kind of push it through, DOdaily, and trying to sort of be better and more equipped and sort of mentally equipped to deal with things as and when they come. But for all the good things that's happened, talking about it all week, I think it was Wednesday where I said I really feel like I'm settling back into a good rhythm with my activity. Activity is so important. Of course, wake up to walk. It's all about getting out there and starting the day by getting the fresh air, enjoying what's going on. I end most days at the moment, it seems, with a burst of activity, getting out for a walk, getting down here. And it's brilliant, isn't it? I go home, I feel like I've sort of signed off the day, I feel good about what I've done. So the messages in terms of activity early are important. They absolutely are. I'm not dismissing them just because I haven't done it today. It's so important for me on a Friday to get up early. I'll be back at that next week. But I was thinking, why in the last couple of weeks, there's been a few plans which I wasn't going to change. I was never going to change, which has meant I've kind of got out there a little bit later. But as I said at the start, this is the first time in probably 30-ish months where I've not got out in the AM for my walk. But I was thinking, why has it been really tough recently? Of course, touched on the plans just there, but also the fact that I I've been doing something late on a Thursday night. I have a really heavy Thursday all of a sudden. What I am particularly grateful for now is change that slightly. Started the quiz, something I do at the local pub. And whilst that's fantastic, brilliant feeling around it, really enjoy doing it. It's me getting out of my comfort zone again. It's progression, it's talking in public. Whilst I talk to a camera around here, it's not always easy for me to do it in public, so that's amazing. But in terms of my week, I've been struggling on a Friday. It's a long day, it's hard to get up, and I've kind of skipped that challenge because I've not felt fantastic. Today I've overslept. A couple of things have got in the way, which I've spoken about a few times, but now I've readjusted that so it ties in better with my working week. So I'm hoping next week, almost making myself accountable by saying it here, no excuses, that I get back to that challenge, because it was so good for me. I remember back to starting that. It's a 60-mile walk all the way around Nottingham. And I remember starting it and how it helped me get out of a bit of a slump itself. So whilst I feel good about what I'm doing, whilst I'm getting back to routine, it'll be important for me just to sort of slot that one back in. Make sure I'm doing what I do on a Friday. Like I say, at other times I might be a bit upset with myself, but it's been a brilliant week. I don't need to be downbeat, I don't need to be upset, I don't need to be too concerned. Take Friday on its own, it's a blip, but it's not been a blip. I needed the sleep, I needed the rest, and again, we have to do what's right for us, don't we? I'm still getting this opportunity to reflect. I've done that in the sense that I've seen how the week has built me up really quite nicely. I'm chuffed with my running, my activity, getting out here on a Friday evening. It felt like a great way to start. Don't get me wrong, I talk about sort of indulging and having a drink, and I think sometimes people probably think, God, does he drink too much? It's not that, but rather than go to the pub straight away and get a drink and sort of get into the weekend spirit, I do like my weekends, I do like that kind of thing. Rather than do that from the off, I've gone out and done some activity at tea time. It felt amazing, some sort of strenuous activity. Whilst I do that on Friday and I get the benefits from it, and it gets me sort of thinking how I want to and enjoying things, getting that real strenuous activity, getting some endorphins flowing. I went to the pub and had a drink afterwards. Again, it's not an issue, it's just a nice way to sort of realise that you've done the activity rather than go a little bit earlier than perhaps I would. And now I've enjoyed a bit of time with friends, done my activity. I'm out here enjoying this. Me and Kay are going to go back and, well, she's back there. I'm going to go back and have some nice food. And then we're just going to go on to what's in front of us. And we've got a really, really nice weekend in store. So every winter, summer, I create a do running away day for the running club. And it's brilliant, lots of the guys just go away and enjoy time together. Real team effort. We've got one of those tomorrow. We're going to Skegness, the seaside. And with the weather as it has been, absolutely amazing this week. It's been, and it's supposed to be fantastic over the weekend. We're going to the seaside, stop overnight tomorrow, Skegness, have a few drinks, have something to eat. We're going to the beach as well. And we're also getting a park run in. So I'm looking to do a vlog there. So I'm really positive about all that. Going to use my new piece of equipment as well. So that's a nice thing. All these small things doesn't mean too much ultimately, but little things that make us feel fantastic about what we're doing and enjoy, what makes us tick. And that's what I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I've got that sort of an overnight stay. And had this been a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have been going into it in the frame of mind. But I've realised, we've got a WhatsApp group about this little event, and I've realised how much I've been putting myself out there. Some of the guys are quite new to it. Some of them have not done an away day before, and I'm really sort of, come on, let's do it. Because why not? That when they've experienced it, when they know what it's about, hopefully they love it. But I absolutely love those kind of things. Being around people, smiling, being silly. And after everything that's kind of turned itself on its head, why shouldn't we be like that? Why shouldn't we be enthusiastic? It's going to be a good time. Probably start next week a little bit tired and sort of picking up the aftermath of all that. But again, that's not worth worrying about now, is it? It's about making the most of the time we've got. I think I've touched on it a few times this week. People have said to me, wow, you're always away. Oh, it's not strictly true. I make things happen around the things I enjoy. So I do get to places, I do things, but I don't go on extravagant long holidays. I'm not trying to justify myself whatsoever, but I don't do that. I try and make things work around what I'm doing, and that's important, isn't it? When we have these ups and downs, when we're not quite in the right place, it's just important to enjoy what you've got. And I absolutely do. This weekend's going to be a classic example of that. This week with the running, adding that, I've said it for months now, when the running clicks, and again, I wouldn't quite say it's clicked 100%, but it's getting there. I'm putting the effort in, I'm trying hard, it's hard work for me. But when the running clicks, for me personally, everything clicks. That's why it's so important. That's why I encourage people to do it and kind of use it to improve our mental health when it's not great. I don't want to preach through any of this. I don't want to sort of tell people what to do, how to do it. So I use myself as an example. And again, it's just been another really realistic week, an honest week, where I've said exactly how I'm feeling. I've not thought before I've come on about what I'm going to say. I never do that too much anyway, but of course occasionally something will spring into my mind and I think that'll be good to talk about. But I've not done that. I've just got about my business, got about trying to be better, living in the moment, I guess. Kind of hit the nail on the head there by sort of using what's gone just before to make the next thing that little bit better. When we do live in the moment, it helps us from a sticky situation. When the better we get, the more confident and upbeat and sort of on it we get about life and being happy and content. We start planning further ahead. A couple of weeks ago I was talking about the wedding, I was talking about the London Marathon, I was talking about all the exciting things to come in the autumn. And don't get me wrong, they've not disappeared. They're still there to really enjoy still. I wouldn't say they're in the back of my mind, they're always in the forefront of my mind because there's such big events. But at the moment, I'm just kind of concentrating on being in a position to sort of embrace them the best I can. And until, I'm really tip top, which I think I'm getting there. This running is helping me like you won't believe. Done one or two nice things throughout the week, which were unexpected. Again, perhaps looking to the future, speaking on one or two different YouTube channels, being asked to do that. The vlog, which I did last Friday, gone down an absolute storm. And all these things just make me feel fantastic about what I'm doing. Positive, enthusiastic, and coming out of a week when you've got so much to do at the weekend, it's absolutely brilliant. I touched on there about people saying, oh, you're always doing something. Someone said to me, I'm jealous of what you got to do. I'm like, don't be. All I'm doing is outwardly being positive about it. I take photos, go for my walks, I enjoy everything I've got for free. An opportunity everybody's got. Some people might see it as ego or why do you do that for? What's the point in that? But I absolutely love it. It's what keeps me sane. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, somebody said to me, they kind of see this as my therapy. Absolutely, without getting deep into it. I try not to use words like therapy and neuroscience and all these things, but that's how I kind of see it. If I can say it here, if I believe it, that's one message I think we really need to take out the week. put a post out sort of early in the week, Tuesday training, saying if we believe something, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I believe on that occasion it was about my pre-match run. Makes me feel better at the football. If I believe that, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If I believe I'm finishing the week in a strong mindset, happy, content, not fed up with a couple of little bits, you know, put a lot of pressure on myself with DOdaily and my output and the routine. I'm still putting that pressure on, don't get me wrong. Still got to make sure next week get it all back towards where it should be. It's coming, you know, apart from today, that doesn't matter, but hopefully in the next few weeks I get it all back, get on top of it, and I just keep being happy and start really looking forward again. Until Monday, hopefully can check in with some motivation. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching. It's been so important, you know, the shares, the likes, the subscribes, all the things, you know, that help the channel build, and the encouragement to talk about things that, like football, which I know a little bit better, a little bit more about. But until then, guys, have the best one you can and be positive about it. And like I say, if you believe it's good, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, just doing it.